Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pit Pass, the #1 truck and tractor pulling podcast in the world. We are back for episode number 7. Thank you guys for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Be sure to hit that like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. If you're on another platform, do whatever you got to do to support us. We really do appreciate it. It shows us that you guys are having a lot of fun watching the show, and we'll continue to do it. We have a great guest on today. It's going to be a lot of fun, but before we get into it, I want to let you guys know about the merch drop going down November 4th. We are dropping the biggest merchandise drop in Appalachian Outlaws history. 50 different items of accessories, clothing, hats, shirts, sweatshirts, you name it. It's all going down on this fall drop. November 4th, 8 a.m. It's a Friday. Put it on your calendar. You don't want to miss it. It's a great time to get Christmas gifts or any kind of gifts you need for the holiday season coming up. So you don't want to miss it. November 4th, we're going to have a lot of different pieces of content until then, promoting the drop and showing you guys everything that's a part of it. So stay tuned. Gonna be an awesome time. But that's all I really got for you guys today. Today we have Bobbi Jo Duke on with the Drivin Miss Daisy truck. She placed number 4 in points with the Appalachian Outlaws Pulling Series this year in the big block high output division, a top running truck. And I'm really excited to have her on. She's done a lot this year to promote the sport, to help out us as the Appalachian Outlaws as a whole. Just so many things she's done. And I brought this show back for the off season. I was like, who can we have on for the first episode? And I was like, man, she would be the perfect guest because she does a lot. She's a great advocate for the sport, and I'm really honored to have her on. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Bobbi Jo Duke with the Drivin Miss Daisy truck. All right, so today we have a very special guest here on the podcast. We got Bobbi Jo Duke, the Drivin Miss Daisy driver. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you. I know, like, over the course of the past season, you've become like one of the most popular, if not the most popular puller on social media and like the whole series. So you've done a great job. You've been a great ambassador of the sport. You've done so much for the fans, the pullers. You've gone out of your way for us to help put some of the shows on we did this year. So I wanted to get the podcast going again. And I was like, man, who can I have on as like the first guest? And I was like, man, I'll have to call Bobbi Jo and see if she wants to get on. So thanks for coming on. What have you been up to since the season ended?
Well, we lost our clutch at the end of the season up at Listy and had some trouble getting on the lift when we got home. So tore it apart, put some new discs in it, and we're going to try to take it to a couple test hooks here in the next week or so and see if we can get it ready. And then that's it. Put it away for the winter and be ready for the spring.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm hoping to make it out. I know next weekend's Weekland and then the big pull at South Buffalo.
Right.
So that's two real good pulls coming up. There's a lot of pulling going on this weekend too, which is kind of strange because normally this time of year the pulling's done and everybody's kind of wrapping it up. But it seems like the past couple years there's been a lot of pulls in October. So I guess
the weather's always so iffy too, and you get, everybody's ready to go and then it'll get canceled and stuff.
Right.
We've had that in the past, and that just sucks, but what can you do?
What can you do? You're always battling Mother Nature around here, it seems like, no matter what time of year it is. So, well, I think it would be cool if we started out, because there might be some people that don't know who you are, if you kind of talked about how you got started in pulling and that sort of thing, like kind of your start with all of it.
Well, originally it started that Brett and Lee both had pulling trucks, and they wanted us to build a pulling truck. So we found a 2-wheel drive pickup in the vicinity, like locally, that was older, owned by an older gentleman. Sorry about that. And it was a 2-wheel drive Chevy. So they picked it up and brought it home. They took it clear down to the frame, and then they put it back on a 4-wheel drive frame and built it up from there. And then Sean drove it for the first year, and it wasn't really anything he was interested in after the first year. So I said, well, I'll give it a try. And here we are 5 years later.
Man, I didn't realize you guys built the truck that long ago. I guess time flies a little bit, but
yeah.
So
I was surprised.
Did you guys build the truck for the class you're in now, or was it?
No, originally it was, well, yeah, I guess it was. It was just it was a big block from the get-go. So it was not completely the way that it is now. Like it's solid suspension and everything now. It before, if we wanted to, we would be able to take and put it back on the road. It would take a
Okay.
lot of work to get it to go back on the road,
Right.
you know.
Now it's
So
kind of too far gone at this point.
right, right. So yeah, there's no chance it's gonna, head back down the road for a Sunday drive or anything like that. So
Yeah, that's awesome. So, like last year, you kind of got involved with like the whole social media aspect of things. I think the first pool you're at was Bullskin, and I remember you won that pool, right?
no, I didn't. I got second. Mark
You
got
got
first.
second. Tracy won the
Yeah.
pool. Okay.
No, no, Mark did
At Bullskin?
last year in the fall. Yeah. Mark finished because Trace wasn't there in the fall.
Oh,
I
I
don't
was talking
believe
about the
so.
spring pool last year.
No, I didn't. I don't think I won the spring one. I don't even remember now.
Or maybe it was Fayette.
Oh
You
no, it
won
was your.
Fayette in
Oh
the
no, it was
spring.
Bullskin. We went for a test hook down at
Yeah.
Bullskin at night, and yeah, that was the first we put in a new clutch. That was when we switched to the new clutch and went down there for a test pull, and the truck just was. It just hooked up and went, and I drove back to trailer and everything, and Tracy come over and gave me a hug and everything. I didn't even know that I won, and I was like, what? So
Yeah.
then we went from there to Fayette, and then that was a big night for me because that's all the big trucks were there. Your Uncle Ray, your dad, Carl, Jimmy, Brett, all the big trucks were there.
All the
And
big dogs showed up.
I won that pool by like 6 feet. And I was just didn't, like I said, you get in the truck, you have no idea when you finish where you're at. I don't care who you are. You have no idea if you're leading or you're behind or where you're at. And I had, no clue, come off the track and everybody's jumping around. And I was like, oh, okay. So I want to watch Brett
Yeah.
pull. So I ran back to the trailer, come back out and watched him pull. And by the time I got back, everybody's like, you're leading, you're leading. And I'm like, no, that can't be possible,
Yeah.
not with these trucks and stuff. And as each one went by, Logan, Barnhart, Carlson, he kept saying, it's your night, it's your night. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And it was my night and I won. And it was just awesome because all of the drivers were at the finish line and they came up and shook my hand. And that meant a lot to me. It made me feel like I finally broke the barrier, with them, that I could compete, with
Right.
the big trucks and stuff like that because my my motor is not a built motor. I mean, it's a factory stock motor that came, from the manufacturer, and there's not anything really been done to it. So I'm just fortunate that my truck runs how it does, and I learned finally how to drive it. Except for the
Right.
clutch a little bit, I still have little clutch issues, and I ride it too much. So
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's all work in progress, right?
yep, exactly,
Well, I mean,
exactly.
I think last year was like really the breakout year for you and everybody that works on your truck and stuff. I'm sure that was like really rewarding to have a season like you did because you came out early in the spring there and won 2 pools. And then all year
Right.
you were running full pool all year and did really good all season. And that's kind of like when your social media started growing too, because you were documenting the pools and like that sort of thing. What I want to know is like, was that always your plan, was to like do what you did with your Facebook and your Instagram, or did you kind of just
No.
start posting things and it kind of happened?
Yeah, it just kind of happened. And like I said, we ended up with full pool at Westmoreland at it was the end of September or the end of August, end of September. And I actually won that pool too. And from there on out, everything just sort of fell into place. And then once the beginning of the year came around and we signed with Appalachia, then it just sort of went, from there because people just started wondering who we were and, where did I come from and stuff. And like I said, I never had interest in, pulling when I was younger. I ran in the demolition derby. That was a big thing with our family. And I drag raced and my mom's car that she didn't really appreciate too much. So,
We all been
but
there. Sorry,
yeah,
mom.
exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, I actually went to Keystone and drag raced her car, and then the people that ran with her on the ambulance, they decided to let her know, and sort of got in some trouble from there. But that's
Hey, it
okay.
is what it is.
She got over it. Yeah, yes. And then, like I said, so the pulling and opportunity came along, and I've just stuck with it, and I enjoy it because the fans are the biggest part for me. I just, really enjoy talking to people and stuff like that, and they're so into what we're doing, and just they appreciate us being out there and taking the time to just stop and say hi, how are you, and stuff like that, and not
Right.
just walking on by like, I don't want to dish on professional sports and stuff like that, but they don't really take the time that I think that we should all do. Is we do this for them, and they come out there for us.
Which I think it's something like not even just like pulling in general, but a lot of different sports. That's something it's lacked for a while, is like bringing the fans into it and making them feel like they have to follow what's going on. Like the whole sport around here right now is like flourishing more than it has in years, because you have so many different personalities and so many trucks and tractors that are documenting what's happening. And the fans get to go online really easily, check that out, and they begin to like, it's almost like a storyline almost if you follow the different trucks and tractors. And I think that's what's great about you, is you get on there and you talk to all the different fans and you make them feel really good about following you and just following the sport in general, which is super awesome. And I know
Yeah.
you've like gone out of your way for different, younger fans and that sort of thing this year, which really was just, that's really respectable. And that just made, I think, everybody around here feel really good about having you a part of the group and that sort of thing,
Well, I
which I don't know.
appreciate that.
I don't know if you wanted to touch up on that or not. I know you've done a lot for the community and stuff this season.
Yeah, I just like the story that started with South Buffalo is when we went to do the Steel City Showdown, which we
Yep.
partnered with you guys, and the weather wasn't the best that day, but we were making the best of the day, and I happened to look on my phone, and there was a post on there that a mom posted about her daughter was sitting out on the swing in the backyard watching the pools, and she was waiting, and it was crazy because she was waiting for me and Daisy to go pull. And I was
Yeah.
like, wow, that sort of like, was like, wow, somebody's like watching us and they're just wanting to see us and stuff. And so after the pools and stuff like that, I reached out to her mom and I said about, I'd like to send her a shirt and stuff because she was taking the time, to just see what we were doing and things like that. So I thought about it, and then I thought, well, you know what? I think I'd be better if I just see if her mom would be okay if I just make a visit out and surprise her. And her mom was just thrilled to death. She had a hard time keeping the secret, and they had some stuff going on that day. So I said, well, text me when you're done and I'll make my way out. And she actually only lives a few houses up from South Buffalo. And I had said, well, if we would have known, we would have gone up and got her and brought her down that day. Her dad had had some surgery on his knee and really couldn't be out and about with the crowd and stuff like that. So they're going to be with us next Saturday, and they're
Well, that's
coming
good
down.
news.
Yeah, so they're pretty excited about that. And then I have another, my junior crew chief. He's my good luck charm. He was at all three of my pools last year when I won. So I told him he had to be there, all
Oh,
the time.
geez.
So yeah,
You
so
got to
my
take it
little
easy on everybody else showing up, though. You can't be
nah.
bringing out all the good luck charms now.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, Waylon, he's my junior crew chief and he's the boss. I check in with him and Lily Bird each time when we go pool before I hit the staging. I go and make a phone call to them if they're not around, and they give me my boost that I need because sometimes, like Fishersville, it was a long day,
Yes,
leaving
it
from home
was.
and driving down and pulling and then waiting because I mean we were lucky that day. We had beautiful, set of classes that day. There was I think maybe 27 trucks in our class
Yeah,
just for the
really
big
nice
blocks.
class.
Yes, and a lot of nice trucks. And I was literally falling asleep. I was so tired. And I called both of them and they gave me that boost energy that I needed. And like I said, we had a decent run. We broke an axle, but that's part of the
What are you gonna do?
deal.
Hey,
Yeah.
honestly though, you had a lot of bad luck compared to a lot of other people this year, and you still
Yeah.
finished really good, which says a lot because if you were, I think what place did you get in the points?
Fourth.
Fourth. Yeah, you got fourth
Fourth.
in the points
That's
after breaking an
right.
axle, and then I think was it at Lebanon you had a little bit of bad luck there too. So
You mean when I broke both axles at
yeah.
75 feet, and
Yeah,
then,
what's
but
wrong with you and axles? You guys just
well,
don't get along very well, huh?
I contribute that to Tracy because she started that all. She started the
Mm.
season off. She broke quite a few sets too, but we actually had a bad batch of axles from the manufacturer, and that was the thing that Tracy and them checked into. And the sad part about it is the night of Lebanon, we had put the new axles in. We had a new set of axles delivered to us to the track, which I told them that they jinxed us when they brought them out. Thank you, Mark Petros, for that. But he brought the axles
Sorry,
out,
Mark.
and yeah, I know he'll forgive me. But
Yeah,
we went,
hopefully. Or you won't be
yeah,
getting axles anymore next time you
yeah,
break
well,
them.
yeah, I know. So, but we went to staging, and Tracy was actually in front of us, and her husband and crew. They were looking at the axles on the truck that we just put on, and Mike had said something. He goes, "Oh, you don't want to know," and I said, "Just tell me now." And he goes, "They're the same batch." So I knew even before I went across the scales that
Hmm.
I was doomed, for the axles. So they were going to try to switch the axles that Mark had brought, but unfortunately, Tracy's axles and my axles are an inch difference, and they replaced
Mm.
them with axles that would fit her truck or Brett's truck. So I wouldn't have, been able to do that. So we went
Right.
with it, and I just, did it. And the announcer said they went at about 75 feet, and I went 240 some feet. I wasn't stopping because
Yeah.
this year with the distance, with the way we do our points, which is great. And I think it's just a perfect system because everybody has a chance.
Right.
I mean, you can gain feet, you can lose feet or whatever. And we, kept on plugging along there. And like I said, if we would have dropped off at 75 feet, that would have done us in probably for the season as far as being in the top 10. But I had hoped for a top 10, and a top 5 would have been great, but a top 4 is even better, especially when I, have Tracy in front of me with third place in points. So 2 Chevy Curls right up front there with the
Yeah.
boys. I think that's pretty impressive.
Couldn't get in front of the yellow Dodge though, huh?
No, I'll tell you what, that
Hey,
yellow Dodge, I don't
the rest
know.
of the fleet was all Chevys in the front though, so that's good news.
Yep. Well, no. Well, yeah, in front of, yeah. Your other truck was in the front, and then
Yeah.
we had Gary come back from that, fiasco at Fisherville for them. But what a
Yeah.
comeback! They had a great
I'm
comeback
just
with
so
that
happy
truck.
they got the truck back together and still were coming and pulling with us because that is like, I mean, that's a top truck every
Yes,
day of the week.
absolutely. Every day.
So to
Yep.
have that truck a part of all this and coming and pulling with us, that's just so cool. Especially because you watch that truck dominate for years out in
Right.
Ohio, watching YouTube videos of Gary just stomping on all those guys out there. And then he put the 35s on. And a lot of people were like, man, he's not going to do good with 35s. He's just going to blow the tires off. And
Right.
honestly, I
Right.
think the first couple pulls he did, but he adapted, learned how to drive the truck different, had a different setup possibly altogether. And now he's a force to be reckoned with for sure. But
Yeah. Well, you
man,
and I talked.
That Fisherville accident was just, ugh.
It could have been a lot worse though. So thankfully nobody got hurt.
Yep.
And like Bobby was smart. She had all the parts, that she needed in backup at home. That they were fortunate enough to get back in a week. And I mean, that was
Yep.
incredible.
They were there
You
the
know,
weekend after.
That's right,
It's
and that was
crazy.
awesome. So, but I that's one thing you say about the tires. That's a big thing that we have done. We have gone. We started with 15s. We went from 15s to 16s, and now we're on 18s. So, it's quite a difference. Running the
Yeah.
different size tires and stuff and we're on the 18. Like I said, the 18s with 35s, and it's tough to make some turns, going in and out and
Yeah.
backing up and things like that. You're rubbing
You got to swing
everything.
it wide a little bit. You can't turn sharp.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I've taken off quite a few of the chrome the wheel well moldings.
Like the
So
molding
I
on
keep yeah, I keep
the
spares of
trim
those.
pieces.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah. So
man.
yeah, that's not a not a fun thing, but I keep them on backup, just like I keep axles on
Yep,
backup
there you go.
because
You got to have the chrome. That's like sets
oh
the
yeah, yeah, and
which
that's one
the
thing.
paint color is beautiful in itself. I don't think anybody even pays attention to the chrome because they're just looking at the whole truck going, "Oh my
Yes,
gosh, it's gorgeous."
yes, we have had a lot of compliments, and we've had a lot of people ask about the paint. Sorry, guys, it's a custom color, and when Brett mixed it, the code's gone once the truck's painted. So if anything ever happens, Daisy will not be that exact same color. So
Man,
yeah, he's had
it's
to have
definitely one of a kind and it's a good looking truck.
yeah. So I think he called it Dago Red is the color that he assigned the name to for that one. But I
Now,
got
is
two
that like
choices.
was the color your guys' idea, or did you kind of let Brett have like free control over what it
I
exactly
think
was going to be?
originally, like we had an idea of the color tone that we wanted to go with, like the burgundy-ish type, and he gave us, like I said, two color choices, and I got to pick, and that's the one that I chose, and I'm glad I did because when it's clean and it's shiny,
Yep.
she's a looker, that's for sure.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. How did you come up with the name for the truck?
Well, we were at I think just a little county pool out maybe at Sykesville or something like that, and we were standing at the registration tent, and the lady said something, she's like, the name of your truck, and I'm like, oh, Driving Miss Daisy, because my Daisy Duke, my last name's Duke, and I don't know, it was just something stupid that came up out of nowhere because the truck didn't have a name for 2 years, and then just came up with Driving Miss Daisy, and now I try not to drive like Miss Daisy, so
Yeah. Well, the name stuck forever at least, so
yeah, and I had to laugh with the invite that we got the other day for the Boonsville pool this weekend.
Yep.
That guy was like, I didn't know how to take it at first because they're like, ain't nobody gonna be driving like Miss Daisy, and I'm like, wait a second here. I'm like, is that the ditch
I
on
thought
me
it
that I'm
I
not
was honestly
driving?
hoping I wanted to go down there and see all our pulling friends. I was hoping
I
that would fire you
know.
up and you would call and be like, "Hey, you want to ride down there with us? We're gonna go
I
show them a
I would
lesson."
yeah, I know. I would have if we would have had more time. I think we would definitely get out next year. But with it being just that short of notice to have everybody, some people work on the weekends and stuff like that, so
Yeah,
can't they'd want to go, and I don't really like leaving anybody behind
a little
because
bit of a haul down there too.
yeah. Well, it's about the same as Craigsville. I think it's six
Yeah,
and a
it's
half
not a bad run
hours.
down there.
No,
Not a bad run.
Fishersville was a nice ride. I
That is a
enjoyed
nice
that.
ride down there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a great show. I mean, there was a really good
Mhm.
turnout of trucks. I love when all the Virginia guys participate. I wish we could get them up to Pennsylvania more because it
I
seems like when we
know.
get all the trucks together, it's a really awesome class and the fans love it.
I know. And that was, I mean, there were some beautiful trucks down there that
Hmm.
day. Trucks I've never seen anywhere, and they run. That's for
Oh, they
sure.
run that Magnum Force truck. That
Oh,
was
that
a really
yeah.
stout running truck in the big block class.
Yeah, because I think that was the winner for that day, right? Because
Yep.
we were already gone. We had already headed home, and yeah, I thought that I remember that truck from Craigsville because when it started up, it was like one of those ones that sends your hair, standing up on your neck,
Yep.
and it's a runner. So
Oh yeah, and it sounded even meaner going down the track too.
I'll bet.
Real good running truck. Well, next year you just got to stay for the whole class. What was you doing leaving so early?
Well, just a long night and a long day, and
Yeah.
and I depend on people to take me and get me where I need to go and stuff like that. And next year, I'm looking probably be hauling my own truck next year with already have a gooseneck and probably have a flatbed truck that I'm gonna be hauling with because Brett will hopefully be having his truck all back together here, and
Yeah,
then
let's hope.
gonna be yeah, and then he's gonna be out there and hopefully having some good finishes and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll have
Yeah,
some
absolutely.
learning curves and everything, but he's ready and he's waited a long time and said he did. My crew did a great job this year for me. We had, a lot of help, even on the outside of just our crew. I mean, when we went to Kilgore, we had, Ethan and Dave Kavanaugh, Gary Milhorn was out there. Gary Chambers and Bobby, all those people, they were just
Yep.
super. And Kilgore, I would definitely go back to. That was
Yeah, Kilgore. Oh, that's the
yeah.
craziest track
Yeah.
ever.
And I had a top 3, and like Weekland was one of my favorites. It's still in my
Yep.
top 3.
Weekland's
Kilgore's
a
in my
great
top
facility.
3. Yes, Weekland. I'm going to go out there Friday. Unfortunately, they don't have a class for us to run
Right.
this year, so I put a little note in there to invite us back next year for both, the big blocks and the small blocks, because that's my record pull out there, is where I, pulled the furthest. And for me, it was a 339-foot pull, so I'll take that
Yeah,
any
that
day.
pool last year, that end of the year pool they have out there is always just an awesome time. Everybody loves going out there. I mean, it's a great facility.
It is.
Mike
It
and Amanda
is.
are great people. Everybody that they have helping out at the event, they're awesome people, and it's just a fun time. Everybody shows up, and it's for Make-A-Wish. It's a good cause, which definitely
Yeah.
probably is one of your motivations for going, because you love supporting those kind of the charity pools and that sort of thing. And
Right. And that's where
so,
this past year we did that birthday party for Shelby Schilling, because her mom
mhm.
had said she wanted to go, instead of having a birthday party, she wanted to go to a truck pull. She wanted to
Yeah,
come
that's
meet us
cool.
and stuff. So we, brought her out, and we had a great day with her. Got to take her out on the track, and she got to meet all the, the Rotten Apple was there, and she got to meet Mark and Tracy and Doug, and just had a really great day. And they've become, part of our family, and we, sort of coaxed them and lit a fire under them and got them to get that truck going.
Yep.
And then, unfortunately, on the debut of Listy, Cece blew it up when they were getting ready to load it, and
Man.
she sends me a text, and I was like, woo-hoo, I was, really bummed about that, because it was going to be a good day. But I had dinner with them last night, and they're doing a new engine, and they're going to
Good
they're going to
news.
stay in this, yeah, they're going to stay in the small block class. But they said she'll be one to look for, because she's
Yeah.
got a history pulling with her dad, and she's ready to get back in it. So
Well, I would say if they blew up, they're probably going to build a little bit bigger and badder for next
yeah,
year. So
yeah, they already have talked to their builder and everything, so they're already, on board of what they're doing. So I'm excited for them, and I'm
good.
excited to get another girl out there. Like I said, we have had some, more movement. Tiffany has been out there pulling Rob's truck in Judgment
Yep.
Day. She's been out there a couple times, and never know. I recruiting these ones when they're young,
Yeah.
because they're the next generation, and want to keep everybody interested, because like I said, we as a whole, the Outlaws, we have such a great following,
Yeah.
with
And we
the
have a great
fans and
group of
stuff like that.
pullers too.
We
A great
do,
group
we
of
do.
pullers. It's just
And
awesome. Like, and it hasn't always been this way around here, especially, is going to a pool and everybody is happy to see each other. There's no drama. We all get along and have fun. And you know what? When the trucks are going down the track, it might be a different story. Everybody wants to beat the other guy and win and, be a competitor. But when that's not happening, everybody gets along great. And it just makes for a really fun time. And I think
right.
that also projects into the overall product of the shows and of what we're doing, because the fans see that too. And it's an awesome time for
Yep.
sure.
And then, like, my one thing I wrote a couple weeks ago, I don't know, if you remember it. I said we come to the track as friends, we go on the track as rivals, and we leave the track as a family, because
Yep.
we do. And I mean, we have, people will cook out, or we'll eat together, and hang out and stuff like that. And believe me, when people break, the pullers take that to heart. They really do, because
Mhm.
nobody wants to see anybody break. And if they can do something to help, they're, everybody jumps in. And I know I've had issues in the past, and I've had, out in Lisbon last year, we had trouble. We had a battery problem. They let Rob Farrell come back down the track after he pulled, switch batteries in my truck so I could pull and get me back out on the track. So the sportsmanship thing, it goes far beyond, sportsmanship. It is like a family community, and people have, in the group have said, I'm happy to see my family. And it's a nice thing when you get there on the weekends, and you're like looking, and, oh, who's here, why aren't they here, where are
Mhm.
they at? And so
Right.
it is definitely it's a different breed of people, but it's a special group of people, and
Yep.
I'm fortunate that I've been able to, you know, become part of that, and it means a lot to me. And like I said, I appreciate everybody that we pull with and work with and stuff like that, and I'll do my best to help, you know, continue to grow this sport, because I wouldn't want to be in any other sport, in true honesty. This is the sport of the, you know, the time right now, and I hope it keeps continuing to grow.
Yeah, it's just so awesome because I think at the end of the day, like people got to look at the fact that this is all just a hobby for everybody. Nobody's making a living at going and
Oh
truck
no.
pulling. You
No,
know, we all
definitely
are
not.
in this to have fun and everybody just has a good time with each other. You know, all the breaking that happened this year, I mean, it was just horrible. I
It
don't think there's
was.
ever been a season where so many trucks broke or something happened where they broke and they couldn't get parts for the next pull, or they showed up to the pool with spare parts knowing they were probably going to break.
Right,
Like, it was
right.
just horrible. But I think that's like as bad as some of that stuff was, and to see people go through that, because not only is it just heart wrenching, but it's also a financial thing too. Like, it costs a lot
Right.
of money to build these trucks and to keep them maintained to go every weekend. You know, that really brought the group together, I think, because if someone broke, everybody was over there trying to help
Right.
them. And
Exactly.
that was just
Exactly.
so awesome to see.
Yeah, especially like at Somerset with
Yep, with Campbell's truck.
yes, and like I said, you know, everybody just was doing whatever they could and stuff like that. And
Yep.
you know, it was still, you know, even though he wasn't able to pull, you know, it still hurt everybody, because you know, you don't want that to happen. And then,
Right.
you know, we go to Somerset. Well, that was, yeah, that was Somerset. And then Tracy, you know, she has her rear end go out. She's the first to pull. Then Shane had his truck blow up, second puller. And it's just like, I'm
Mhm.
like back in the back and thinking, oh my goodness, I'm like, this is not starting off on a good note. So I was pretty cautious that night too, because I was definitely worried about having another breaking, you know, something
Yeah,
break
and
down.
I think another thing is it's like we're all friends at the end of the day. You don't want to see that happen to nobody because you
No.
don't want it to happen to you. But another thing is you're a competitor too. You go there to pull against the best trucks and to beat them when you have a good run. And when they break, you can't go home saying, "Oh, I beat Tracy or I beat Shane because they
Right.
broke." And like
Right.
there's just so many things into it. But man, I don't think there was more breakage in any class compared to the big
No.
blocks this year. It was just
Yeah.
like it was
Yeah,
horrible, which
it was catastrophic all around
yeah,
for the overall, you know, the amount of money that, you know, was put back into these trucks to get them back out there. And you know, we, like I said, we really didn't lose anybody, you know, for the season, which was awesome, because you know, it was a long season, but it was a short season. Unfortunately, it just seems like it just came and went,
I
you know,
know.
in no time at all, and it's already over. And you know, we're looking at, you know, pools this weekend, pools next weekend, and then oh, maybe there'll be something, you know, creeping up. And as I had a
Yeah.
couple people text me today, hey, what's the plan for the weekend? What's the plan for next weekend? And just trying to, you know, get every last pull in that you can, because you know winter's coming, and you know, then it'll
Right.
be
And then
the
you got 6 months until the next pool.
yeah, exactly.
Which is
So,
just crazy because I feel like growing up, I would like really want, be invested in the pooling all year. And then in the winter, it just seemed like the off season drug on so long. But then when I started doing the promoting side of things, it's like the off season goes so fast because there's a million things to do. And then
right.
pulling season goes 20 million times faster.
Oh
Like
my
I feel like
goodness.
we were just at Weeklands a couple weeks ago, and that was 6 months ago now. So it's
I
like,
know. Yeah, because that was May, right? When
yeah,
we
it was
went
the
there.
beginning of May.
Yeah, that was a good pool too. And I thought, you know,
It
I had a
was.
good start there. I came out fifth for the first pool, so that, you know, gave me a good feeling right off the bat, because
Yeah,
there was some big trucks there, you know,
there
right
was.
off the bat too. And
Yeah.
you know, it was like I said, it was all around good season. I'm thankful, you know, even though we had problems, we were consistent. And you know, to say that I finished fourth, you know, against, you know, this group of trucks
Mhm.
is just, you know, it's pretty, I'm pretty proud, you know, my team and
Yep.
everything, because without them, you know, I wouldn't be able to be out there. And expect, the guys that pull with us and Tracy, everybody, will lend, an ear or lend, suggestion, or if you have, a question, they answer it. They don't just blow you off or, anything like that. Everybody
Right.
wants to see everybody do good. And that's what's, like I said, that's what I love about the sport. I
Yep.
mean, the sportsmanship goes far beyond, any anything that anybody that is not involved can, imagine and stuff like that. So,
Yep. And
but
it's just so awesome. It's awesome to see just the amount of excitement in the air every time you come to a pool now, and like all the people showing up and they're just excited to see each other. And you
yeah.
got a couple bad apples in the bunch, but you always
Yeah.
have that. We
Yeah,
love
but
them
we
too. It's
yeah,
all
we
good.
do. We do, but we try to, like, I'll stand up for what I believe in and stuff like that. And if I feel that somebody's gonna badmouth the sport or badmouth something about it, I'm gonna let you know that I don't appreciate it. And if you're gonna be part of this team and play in our sandbox, you better be nice because I can be mean.
Yeah. I think it all worked out good though. And there's a
Yeah,
lot of
it
guys
did.
that unfortunately didn't pull with us a lot this year that did in years past that hopefully we'll see again. And it just got really crazy this year with the scarcity of parts and fuel cost, and
Right.
it was just so messed up. But
Right. Yeah, and like I said, the distances that people come and the distances that we go to these pools and stuff like that, you have to give everybody a lot of credit for that because that's you're talking Craigsville. We left here at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and my aunt and I got back at like 2:30 in the morning. It was like a
mhm,
20 some hour day, round trip
right.
and stuff
For
like
a
that. But
15-second trip down the track.
exactly. Yep, that's it. All that for 15 seconds. And people laugh and they say, "Well, how many times do you pull?" Once. They're
Yeah.
like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, unless you're like me and you get to pick number one about 10 times. You can pull twice if you'd like, but I
Yeah.
don't I'll try not to do that next
I don't
year."
know. That's
So,
funny because like I've brought in a lot of friends to pools this year that have never been to them, and a truck will go down the track and they'll ask me, "So when's he get to come back?" I'm like, "He doesn't. That was it." And it's
they're
just
like, "What?"
mind-boggling to people that it's only a 15-second run. You go down the track once and you're done. Because
Right,
in
right.
racing, there's different heats, and then you go in the feature, and
Sorry about
oh,
that.
you're good.
Um, yeah, like you said about the dirt tracks, like I have a family member that races dirt tracks. He's been Joe Kelly. He's been around forever. He started in enduros way back in the day, and they run heat races. They run hot laps, then they run heat races, then they run their features, and they're all day, all night, and
Yeah.
there's us 15 minutes loaded on a trailer, ready to go home.
And you're
So,
done. Yeah.
yep,
It's
exactly.
crazy.
So it is, but it's
I don't
fun,
know.
and I
It's fun,
enjoy
and
it.
like I always thought about like doing like a bracket style pool where you like have a couple trucks in each thing, and then they do a pool, and then somebody moves on. But man, that would be hard on equipment to try to run your truck four
Well,
times in
yeah,
one night. So
yeah.
like
Or you
just the
could
way the
just
trucks are set up, it would be hard to do multiple pools in one day.
Oh, that's for sure, because I know, like, my truck, I had trouble at Cookport. I pulled twice because I was first, and we figured, different strategy and stuff like that. And my clutch was so hot, even from just that first pull,
Yeah.
I didn't have enough. There was only six, I think, six trucks that day, so I didn't have any time for it to cool down. So, that cost me a little bit of, footage there. And that's one thing people need, like, they don't understand all of the little idiosyncrasies that go into these things, that one
Hmm.
little change or one little adjustment can change and make the difference between first place to 10th place
Right.
that quickly and stuff like that. And I said, I was laughing because we've talked about this, the Fayette pool. We went there this year just on a whim at the fair, called the neighbor and said, "Hey, you want to get down?" So we went down with Gresco's, and we pulled, I think there was 10 or 12 trucks that day. And the track was crappy as always. And we got out there, and I had what I thought was a decent pull. And between first and third place, there was 0.24,
Yeah.
of a foot. And it was just incredible that, you can be that close and that far away yet from
Right.
first.
And like one little adjustment could have set you 5 feet back, or it would have put you 5 feet in front.
Right.
And
If
that's
I'd
the
have
crazy
sneezed, I
thing
might have
about it.
won.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and I think and then, the other thing people don't understand too is, like, our weight restrictions with,
Hmm.
the different classes and stuff like that, and, how much, you have to, vary with that. I know we had at Listy, there were some issues up there with, the scale and things like that, and even with the scales themselves, you go different places, you're the same
Yep.
weight,
They
but
read
the weight.
different and
Yep, exactly.
yep.
So, yeah, so there's a lot of things that go into it that people don't, realize, and I still, am learning about my clutch right now and different things. So it's just
Yep.
it's a good thing. So, but
Yeah,
I'm
you're always
definitely
going to be trying stuff. I think that's one thing you'll never quit doing is getting home from a pool or driving home from it and go, man, what if we would have done this different? Or if I would have drove the truck a little bit different, what would
right.
have happened? And
Or Colton, send me the totals from the track so I can figure out if I lost and I'm out of the top 10 in points.
yeah,
So,
yeah. After every pool on the way home, all I did was send the results to like 50 different people,
yep,
and because they're chomping at the bit to see where they're at in the standings and
I
stuff. But
know.
the
But
total
it's
distance just
exciting
makes it
though.
it's exciting. That's what I think. I know there's a lot of people that have talked to going to more of a like a traditional point system,
Mm-mm, I
but
would
man,
not.
the total distance is like almost every class we had went down to the last pool to decide who won it.
Yeah, except for our class because
Except for Mark.
Mark,
Mark had
Mark,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
he,
Mark had it in
yeah,
the bag
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. But I tell you what, though, if like this is one of those if things. If Fishersville, Gary wouldn't have had his, uh,
Mm-hmm.
his incident there. Those two were, 1 and 2 in the points, and
Yep.
that was going to be a great fight till the end there. And
Oh my
Gary had a
gosh. Yep.
Yeah, Gary had a great comeback because I talked to you how many days before, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold my position here because he's coming.
Well,
And
I think after that happened at Fisherville, I think their game plan was to show up and just try to win all the pools
right,
for the rest of the season. And
well, they did a
he
good job
was
of
on a
doing that.
mission. He was on a mission. He had that rocket ship gear in there probably.
Yes,
So
yes, he did, and like I said, they did a great comeback. It was
yep.
very, very proud of them for the in a week's time to be able to do that and come back strong. And I said, you know, if anybody was going to do it, it was going to be them. Out of all the trucks that were out there, it would have been them that would
Yep.
have
There's a
made the
lot like
comeback.
Campbell. He fought back. He lost driveline parts there and was able to get the parts and be there for Kilgore. And
Right,
that truck
right.
was running really good at the end of the year too. So
Yes, I know. And him and I, we have our little joke, and
I know.
we laugh about it and stuff like that. But yeah, he's a good guy, and like I said, I was happy that he was able to come back strong like he
Yep.
did at Kilgore. He had two good runs, both because he was first. He pulled and then he pulled again, and that was another moment for us as well because that was first time on that track. We didn't have our normal crew
Hmm.
with us. We had a new group of people helping us out, and we were only one of the 5 trucks that went over 300 feet there. And so, like I said, I
Yeah.
definitely appreciated everything that everybody did for us down there because that was uncharted territory,
And that
for us
track
and
shows
stuff.
no mercy.
No, no, it
Oh
did
my
not. But
gosh.
yeah, and like I said, it was fun, and I'm just really sad that we only have this week and next week left
I know.
because
I'm looking forward to it. There's so many good pools going on. There's that one up at Destination 300. There's the one in North Carolina. There's a lot of pooling going on this weekend, but
Hooking for
I'm
Hopes Saturday
yep
out
in
in
Woodsfield,
yep, and then there's something in Milbourne, I think, or something. Is that in Virginia?
Millboro,
Millboro,
Virginia. There's
yeah.
Snyder County this weekend.
Wow, there's a lot
Yeah, there's
going
a
on.
lot of pools going on, and I'm not going to
Yes.
any of them, unfortunately. That
You want
sucks.
to go? We'll take you with us.
I got a lot of work to do. And then I joined a men's softball league, or it's a co-ed softball league. So I've been doing that, trying to get exercise. I've
Well,
been eating
that's
too much
always a
junk
good
at
thing.
I've been eating too much junk at the pools. So I was like, yeah, I'll play ball this fall,
Yeah, but
which
with as
hasn't been
much as
going
you
very
run
good.
around,
So
with as much as you run around at the pools, I can't believe that you gain any weight because you're just like a bumblebee. You're
the
everywhere.
ball the dad bod's coming in quick. and I got to get rid of it.
The dad bod? Is
Yeah,
there something
I got a
here
belly coming on me, and I got to get rid of it. So
okay,
we'll
we're
see
gonna
what
crack down
happens
on
there.
you.
We'll keep everybody updated, but yeah, lots of pools going on next weekend. I don't know if you wanted to talk a little bit about the South Buffalo pool going down
Yes, I
to give
would.
them guys a shout out. This will be
Yes.
releasing probably the week of the pool. So
Well, that'll be next Saturday, the
yep.
15th, and it is in Freeport, and this will be the 4th year that they've had this pool. And what they do is everything that is taken in that day, from the entries, the hooks and everything, they do payouts and everything as usual, but everything that they take in goes directly to a family that has been chosen. And this year I got to be on the part of the committee that helped to select the nominees, that they had. I think there was maybe like 15 nominees that you read through their stories and stuff, and all ages and different things. And this year the family is a brother and sister, and they suffer from what is called Escobar syndrome. And what it is it is in your, I believe it's in your joints, and it causes, like, I'm not exactly sure of what the long-term effects of it are, but the daughter had it. She was born with it, and then the mother found out when she was pregnant with a son that the daughter had it. So it's a gene that's passed on through the mother. And like I said, this pool will be for them. We have always have a strong group of trucks, and I think this year, I'm hoping that a lot of my Appalachia Outlaw brothers are coming out with me, and I'm pretty sure Tracy will be there. She's usually, always a good candidate to come out and join us. And we are bringing in the I think 4,500 mods for Chase. Yep.
They're pulling 10 a.m. session.
Right. Yeah. And they're gonna finish. I think that's our last points for that group.
Yep, it's the points finals.
Yeah, so that'll be a good one to watch with Paul and all those guys.
Yep.
And then they have tractors that run in the daytime. They start at 10, and then all of the trucks start at 5, and they have grid, maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 classes, but like they're very willing to put somebody somewhere. If you want to come out and you don't fit in the exact category, they'll run you. They'll let you hook to the sled and have a little bit of fun. And they do basket raffles, silent auctions, and they raise a lot of money for the families. And it's really awesome. It's just a nice event. So we support that every year, and we'll continue to do so. And like I said, we had our Steel City show down there in the spring. Yep. We didn't have the best weather, but
no, not at all.
Mother Day, yeah, she does that. So hopefully that we can keep that Steel City showdown as on our schedule somewhere along the lines, whether it's a benefit or we do something else with it. It's just, it's nice because it's a local track for a lot of us.
Yeah, it's a very good drive.
Yes. And I think, what are you looking at for our schedule as far as number of pools, number of places we're going to head?
I mean, to be completely honest, there's so many tracks and fairs and all kinds of different promoters getting a hold of us to do pools. So we could do as many pools as we wanted to, but I honestly think quality over quantity.
Right.
Like, let's pick like 10 to 12 of the best tracks we can get into and put on a really quality event.
Right.
Instead of just doing 100 pools in a year and having everybody spread out everywhere and pulling on a Wednesday night and a Thursday night and pulling Saturday. Like, let's make it a 10 to 12 pool season for all the classes and make it the best experience possible for when we can get those trucks together. The bad part is a lot of people like pulling more than 12 times in a year. So it's not like we can offer a full season for somebody.
Right.
I mean, like the South Buffalo pool next weekend, this is a great cause. 10 a.m. They're doing the Destination Unknown sled with it looks like the antique tractors. And then they're doing 4,500 CS Pulling Promotions trucks. That's a points final for them. And then 5 o'clock's the decision maker. And it looks like they offer a class for literally anything that would want to come hook, that a semi, a pickup, gas, diesel. I mean, that's a great event. So even though we're only going to offer probably 12 rounds of pooling, maybe a couple more. I don't know. It depends what the poolers want to do, really. But even though we're only offering that amount, there's still a lot of good pools that people can go to around here. And I hope that we can work with, people like South Buffalo and all the other
Right.
sanctioned bodies, kind of schedule different dates for our bigger shows, and everybody can go pool everywhere. And just really, I think that really grows the sport too, when there's not that conflict amongst all that. So
Right, because
we'll
not all
see.
the fans can go, everywhere that we go, and if when there is the opportunity to have other places to go and other groups to pool,
Right.
it does give them that opportunity because everybody can't travel, like we do and stuff like that. Because for families it's costly, to take, a family of four and, eat and,
Exactly.
get in and, things like that because
Right.
everything has gone up and everybody, can't afford to be everywhere all at the same time. So I like
Yep.
the diversity, like you said, of being able to, get different places and stuff like that. And yeah, I'd like to pool every weekend and I'd like to be out there with, everybody. But I think you're, like you said, quality over quantity is definitely because the other thing you run into is you have that many pools and you're breaking and,
Yep.
then
Exactly.
you're missing the points and stuff like
Yep.
that. And it's not to me it's not worth it. I'd rather stay, and with the small number of pools like you have and then, keep the point systems the way it is. I don't feel, we need to change that at all because I think it makes more intensity, more excitement and everything for everybody
Yep.
because like I said, you can have a good pool and you can have a bad pool, but doesn't mean that you had a bad pull and it's going to drop you back because the people at the other end may have had, a bad pull the week following you and you're still
Right.
right back in there and stuff
And if
like
you did
that.
like the normal points, you could have gotten sixth place, but first place was 2 feet in front of you, but you got sixth place points. So even though you're right behind all those trucks every weekend, you're never going to get an opportunity to jump up. But if you're 30 feet behind and two pools go by and they all had inconsistent runs and you stayed straight and went down the track good, you're going to beat them guys in points just being more consistent.
Right.
And that's what shows a true champion to me, is somebody who can show up every weekend, keep their truck together, put down a nice solid pass. That's what shows a champion. So I like the system. I think the only thing I would add is like a drop hook if we could, which I think
Uh,
is something that we'll be working on through the off season and hopefully talking with the poolers about. But going into next year, I'm hoping we get a couple pools in Virginia, going down there, supporting them guys. We get the
right.
pool in Pennsylvania, and then if we do go back to Ohio, I think it would be nice to have a drop hook in there somehow. But
Yeah, yeah, I do too because there are times when, we've had guys. Yeah. Although, sorry, I lost you again. I get getting messages on my phone and it
it's all
flips me
good.
out. But they have you know, somebody breaks and then they can't get part for a week or two, and then they're stuck because they miss a pull. And
Right.
I think, yeah, I definitely think that needs to come into consideration. But like I said, that's something you guys have to come together with.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, our last pool was the 17th, so almost a month ago. And I wanted to hit the ground running, but I'm like, it's probably best to wait until all the pools around here are kind of finished up and everybody's, not going around seeing, because when you start getting rumors in the air and everybody's talking about it, it just becomes such a bad time. So I'm like,
Oh, I
we'll wait
know.
until
And
all the pools are over, take a little month vacation, and then as soon as the last pools hit in the middle of October, we're gonna hit the ground running on stuff. So,
well, that's exciting
which
because
it's
we always.
exciting for sure, because I would love to have a lot of the schedule out by Christmas to at least give people a heads up on some of the pools, which I think we're going to get there if we can work hard here. And the worst part is other people dragging their feet, which usually
Right.
it's not their fault, but I mean, everybody has different lives and different schedules and stuff for when they want to do things. So it'll be
Yeah,
interesting,
it
but
will be, but I'll already tell you I will be coming back for the Big Block HO.
good
So
deal.
my fans can know I will be
You
back
guys
there.
heard it
You
here
keep
first.
asking me. Yeah. So we're definitely coming back out. So we'll be out there, and hopefully we're going to be, a little bit stronger this year, and never know what,
You
where we
never
can
know. That's the
never
beautiful
know,
thing about pulling.
That's right. And I will tell you that your dad and your uncle told me, and I will never forget the day up at Clearfield. They said, don't worry, because I was always in the middle and the back of the bunch every week when we pulled and stuff. And they said,
Mm-hmm.
your day will come, your day will come. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, Fayette came, and you know what? There was your dad and your uncle, and they were one of the first two that shook my hand and told me, congratulations. And
Yep,
I
it was
said to
well
have that
deserved.
privilege of, having those guys, shake my hand it was a turning point for me. And then I was like, there's no looking back. I'm on. I'm gonna
Yeah.
beat them every
Well,
week I
thanks a lot,
can. So
because you gave my dad hell all season. He had a horrible time all week long worrying that he had to get out in front of you. So thanks for that.
oh, that's no problem. No problem at all. And like I said, whenever we went to Kilgore, he'd come up after and shook my hand and stuff like that. And I said, it's the little things that mean the most, and
Yep.
I said that's why I try to, like you said, be an ambassador, for this group and stuff like that. And I'll continue, to do it, because I want people to enjoy, what they want to see and watch us, and just have a good old time.
Yep. And I just want to thank you personally for doing that, because you
Thank you.
interacting with the fans and, being an ambassador for the sport like you are, like, it means the world, especially when you're representing our brand in a positive manner too. Like, it's just awesome to have people like you involved with it.
Well,
So,
thank you. I appreciate that. And that means a lot to me too, because like I said, it's what we do. This is who we are. And I mean, what you see is what you get with any
yep.
of us, on the
Yep.
track, whether you're in a bad mood or a good mood, you're going to see, who we are. And like I said, when I get that chance and that green light goes, some days it's like I'll blow the tires off Daisy, and I don't have the best pull, but there's other days that it just goes smooth, and I'm right down there at the end with everybody, and it's a good feeling for sure.
Yeah.
And like I said, to have, my finish this year, I'm going to brag it up. I don't care what anybody says. I earned it. I worked my butt off for it with my team, and, fourth place, with these guys. I mean, you've got to be, talking,
Yep.
these trucks have been around for so long, and they
Yep. And the
have,
top running trucks.
incredible horsepower and stuff. And, like I said, one of my favorite trucks, and I always say about it, is the Mistress.
Mm-hmm.
The sound of that truck, I can tell you if I'm on the other side of the track when that truck starts up. I can tell you that it's whose truck it is, because it
Yep.
just has just such a pretty sound, and that's one of my favorite trucks. Even though I'm not a Ford fan, I'm a total Chevy girl here. But
I
yeah,
biased or whatnot, but I mean, the Chevy runs deep.
yep. And like I said, Daisy got her little bling on. Nobody pays too much attention, but Daisy's got a little crystal bow tie on the front there
Yeah.
on her grill. So
I
she
don't
does
know.
have her little
Hey,
grilly
I
moments.
take that statement back though. I like all of them.
Yeah,
All of them have,
I do too.
there's just certain years I don't like. Like, there's certain years of Dodge I like. There's years of Ford I like. There's years of Chevy I don't like. It goes back and forth. Like,
Right. Well, my
so
dad was a Ford guy, and I would tell you that my dad would be very disappointed that I run a Chevy out there, because he did not care for the Chevys and stuff like that. But sorry, Dad, doing my best down here
hey,
with
at least it's a
that.
good
But
looking Chevy.
it is. It is.
Yep.
She's a beauty, and like I said, I try to keep her clean. Some days I get lazy and don't wash her, but she still looks good. So it was funny at Butler. A guy asked me if I had gotten her repainted, and I was like, "Nope, just washed her. That's all." So
Yeah, it's funny.
yeah. So, but like I said,
Dang.
I appreciate everything you did for us, and Bud.
Yep,
All the work you guys have
absolutely.
gone into everything, and you keep doing for us, and anything we can help out with, we will. And continue to keep writing my stories, because I know
Yep,
people
you got to keep
people
writing the
laugh about
stories. The
that.
second you
And
quit writing the stories, I'm done too.
oh geez,
You got
well
to
we
keep
got
on posting them, and I want it to
yep.
be like the day after the pool.
I
You got
know
all
I
of us
fell
waiting until like
behind. I
Wednesday,
know.
Thursday for our nice read. You got
Yep.
to do it the
And
day after.
okay, well, I will definitely keep on
I'll
that for
definitely
sure.
do it.
Even over the winter, we'll
Yep.
put some little funnies on over the winter or
You got
something like that.
anything interesting going on during the off season? Any other hobbies you do?
let's see. Other than laying on the couch with the dogs and watching TV, pretty much.
Respectable.
We go bowling. We go bowling on Sundays. We have a big group of people. We go bowling.
That's
just
cool.
a bunch of fun, just people that go pulling with us. We've actually ran into your family, bowling on Sunday.
My uncle's a good bowler.
Yep.
It definitely doesn't run in the family though, because every time I go, they got to put the dang things on the side so I don't get a gutter ball
we'll have
every
to bring
time.
You down to our lanes then. We have some like little bumper bowlers down there.
Yeah,
you can ride
I'm just not that good. If I put the time into it, I might become a respectable bowler, but it's just not in me right now. I don't get it naturally. We'll put it that way.
Right. Well, I'm going to work on my power wheels. So I got that, I got all the decals. They're coming for it. So get that ordered. So, we're going to add that onto the schedule, right? The little
power wheel pulling?
Yeah.
I think we got to do adult power wheel pulling.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yes. Let's do it. We got a little Undertaker. We can do stuff and have in the class and
Yep. Well, we'll have a little Daisy. She's down. Yeah. She's down the barn, and she's going to get painted here to match Daisy. And
my goodness.
Yeah, we'll do that. So we'll have our.
We might even be able to start like an indoor league for that. We'll find like a barn or something to do that in, and that's what we can do in the winter time. You know,
we have it. We can do that here. So
okay,
we have
deal.
We have the space to do that. We'll move some things around.
Let me know.
There might be alcohol involved in that, but that'll be all right. So.
Yeah.
Sure. So, but yeah, like I said, we appreciate you having us on here and everything, and appreciate our fans. We love them, and
absolutely
we love that they come out and support us. And we've had so many that have just wanted to be a part of helping load the truck when we get off the track and stuff like that. And just want to say thank you to everybody, because we couldn't do it without our teammates, without you guys, promoting us and things like that. And like I said, we love our pulling family, and we are going to miss them over the winter.
Yeah. Well, we got the banquet to look forward to.
Oh, good. Okay,
yeah.
great.
We're going to do a banquet here, I believe. So that'll at least split the winter up a little bit.
Good deal. Well, maybe we'll have to do something else. I'm going to have a cookout. Or,
we'll do something. Yeah, we'll do something.
All
right. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sure we'll have you on again at some point in the future.
Hope so. When I win. You can have me on when I win one pool this year.
Okay. Yeah. When you win, we're actually going to do it in person and have like fireworks going off in the background.
There you go. Good deal.
And we'll have like an entrance. You can like walk out the music with the big trophy or something.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. Speaking of trophies, we need to do more trophies, because
I agree.
The cash, you get the cash. Anybody can give you cash, but to have have a trophy and say, "Oh, I remember when I got that."
I just had this conversation with somebody else earlier. I think we're gonna try to make it happen.
Good deal. Sounds great. So.
All right.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We had Bobbi Jo Duke on Drivin Miss Daisy. Thank you again for coming on if you're rewatching this. Awesome to be back here on the Pit Pass podcast for the first time in a very long time. We're looking forward to doing an episode whenever we can. I don't want to say once a week, because, man, my life is crazy right now. My schedule is literally horrible. Like, I work like 11 o'clock to 9:30, 5 days out of the week for the most part. So it's tough. It's tough to find time to do this, but I really love doing this. We're going to bring you guys episodes. I've been talking to a lot of potential guests lately. Hopefully we can get them on, because it'll be super exciting. But a lot of awesome pulling going down this weekend. And then next weekend, there's a lot of pulls going on to wrap up the 2022 season. It's hard to believe it's done, but I'm looking forward to going to some pulls next weekend. I'm going to document the whole thing, make some videos for you guys. So be sure to subscribe, hit the like button if you like today's video, and we'll be back next time. Thanks for watching.